guys, welcome back to my channel. Tonight I am filming a half price book haul. I actually have a lot of books that I have been pretty much collecting since mid-January and kind of just going crazy, realizing that my reading taste has changed and there's a lot of books that I want to read now with kind of my newfound reading interest. I originally really liked reading mysteries and thrillers, and horror books, and last year I read a lot of those books of that genre and I realized that I wasn't really enjoying them. I think that I found myself not liking them more than I liked them, and of the few books that I've read of like the contemporary fiction genre or nonfiction memoir genres, I've really enjoyed, and I am pretty much catching up on trying to read a lot of those like notable works in that category, and just also books that are really interesting to me. Like, I'm really behind on videos. I actually wanted to film this all together with those books as well because there are about 15 to 20 of those books, and then the books that I got from half price. But with my schedule, it's just really hard for me to sit down for a full hour and kind of talk about them. I also had to get another bookshelf. I went ahead and invested in one, and I'm going to rearrange my book collection. So that's something that I need to do. Conveniently had 4 days off from work with the snow in Texas, or the ice I should say, and I didn't do anything YouTube related, so that is on me, and now it looks like I'm not going to be able to get to it for another couple of days. The book that I have is Less by Andrew Sean Greer. This is the story of Arthur Less, who is a near 50-year-old journalist or novelist, I think. His career is kind of dead end, and he is invited to the wedding of his boyfriend, long-term boyfriend that he didn't end up marrying, and he's kind of in between whether or not he should go or not, and through a turn of events he is able to travel the world and kind of discover himself. I just have heard really amazing things about this. Carly highly recommends this book over on her channel, and I really enjoy her taste in books, so I wanted to go ahead and pick this up, and I found it at half price for $6.99. The next book that I have is Patsy by Nicole Dennis Benn. This is a pretty much brand new hardcover. It was actually in the section in half price. They do have a section of brand new books, but this was actually back there. I think I saved probably like $2. It was $13.49. I think it's like $15 on Amazon for a hardcover. I got this recommendation from Drinking by My Shelf. It was in her top books for 2021. It is about a woman named Patsy. She's originally from Jamaica, and she has a daughter. And Patsy is given the opportunity to move to New York City, and there begins a relationship with another woman, and it kind of just is the relationship between her and her daughter and how it kind of ebbs and flows, especially from her at a distance. And the way that it was described was that it was very touching and moving, and I never really knew that from this book. I've heard of this book and seen it before, but I didn't realize it was so moving, so I wanted to go ahead and pick it up, and I'm excited to read it. The next book that I have is this really nice copy of Native Son by Richard Wright. This is about a young man named Bigger Thomas who is kind of having a hard time, in and out of trouble with the law, and he is employed by a white family to be a driver and ends up finding himself in some trouble. I've seen the movie Native Son on HBO. It's really good. I don't know how close it is to the book, but I know that it made me want to read the book, and I found this really good copy of it for $6.99, so I'm really excited to see the similarities or if it's completely different. The next book I have is this older copy of Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. I believe it is about two women who start out in middle school, I think, and they move across the street from each other, and then it just spans the length of their friendship for like 3 decades. I love a time span in a book. I love seeing the characters grow. I love seeing what they experience, so this just seemed like the most reasonable choice to pick it up. The next book that I have is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. This is about a young woman, and I think it also follows many characters over a journey or just kind of their family growth. I've just heard that this book is incredibly moving and devastating. Like, you fall in love with the characters and you just love them so much, and things happen to them and you grow really connected to them. I was actually surprised to find this at half price. I feel like this is rather new, and by new I just mean that if I can go see it in the Amazon bookstore, then I think it's like new. But I found it and it was $8.49, so I'm really excited to read this one. The next two books I think I'm most excited about, even though I'm not sure when I will get to them, and it is these two Leo Tolstoy books. I have War and Peace and Anna Karenina. And I got both of these two books from Emma on her book channel and Carolyn Marie Reads. So those two girls have sold me these classic Russian literature books. I am not a classic literature person. I just haven't really ever, it's not that I'm not interested, I just don't think that I have ever been in a space or had one recommended to me. In high school, we really didn't read a lot of classic literature, and I didn't really read any until I got to college, and I was pretty far into college before I took a Gothic literature class, and I don't even know if those would be considered classics, but yeah, I just don't really have a lot of experience with them. Just thought, what better way than to buy the classics from Half Price Books? I just thought that that would be excellent. And so I found this really amazing copy of Anna Karenina for $5.99. It is like completely untouched. It looks like somebody started reading it up to like maybe the 50th page or something. I don't know, maybe 100. It's, the spine is just barely cracked and it looks like it's in perfect condition. It like looks amazing. And then I have this much older copy of War and Peace, and this one definitely has some wear in it. There was a couple other copies of War and Peace. One of them was a lot newer, but the words were so small I could not read it. I have horrible eyesight. I wear glasses daily, or contact lenses. Right now I'm wearing contact lenses, and I usually, when I'm reading, the most that I can read is at night, and it was just, I kind of don't need glasses up close to read, but it was that small where I'm like, I can't even read this if I was like sitting in my bed reading. And so I went for the older copy. There was also an old hardcover edition that looked like it would literally fall apart if you touched it, and I was like, no, I need to at least get one that is not gonna fall apart. So I'm really excited to read both of these. I think these ones are the ones I'm most excited about. I think that I am going to like Anna Karenina a little bit more. I'm actually not sure. I think, from what I understand, that Anna Karenina is based a lot more on her relationships, and War and Peace follows many characters over the Russian War and kind of talking about war, but I think it is in a way that will kind of sustain my interest and keep me, you know, reading it. I'm pretty good about finishing books that I never DNF books. Once I devote time into it, I feel like I will waste my time if I DNF it, and I really try to pick up books and get books that I don't think that I will DNF, so I don't think that I will, and I feel like I am hardly competitive, but that's one thing about myself, is that I really try to finish books that I start. So I'm excited about these two, and I feel like these were like the best deal that I got. Yeah, that was my haul from Half Price. I kind of haven't been to Half Price in a while, because I always feel like I feel like it's one of those bookstores that you have to go into with a list, and so I had a list and I was able to find some stuff, and I'm really happy about it. I'm definitely trying to shop more sustainably, not only with books but clothing and makeup and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's tough, but I know that it is worth it in the long run. I also think that I am going to go on a book ban for myself for the next, I'm thinking, till April, honestly. I have acquired so many new books in the past 2 months, pretty much since the new year started, when I realized that I had so much books of other genres that I was interested and curious about. And I pretty much have gotten more than enough to sustain my curiosity and my interest, especially for the amount of books that I read a year, even though I'm doing pretty good so far. So definitely going to go on a book buying ban. I'm thinking starting next Monday on the 14th, because I don't know. I actually just bought a book today, so it's ridiculous. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.